Hey there, folks. So, last episode, if memory serves me here, it's been a little bit. Um, what was last episode? Last episode was setting up the first person, third person camera. Okay. Sorry, I had a couple of days where I had to get some real life stuff done and I lost track of what I had recorded. Anyway, so last episode, as I said, we did the first person, third person camera toggle. This episode, I want to clear up one, well, not clear up, I want to cover one other smaller thing before I do our first, and you guys can't see me doing air quotes here, but release build. I'll go into more details about why we want to do that as often in the next episode where I cover that. But this episode, what I want to cover is the load game logic. Because right now we have the ability to save the game in air quotes. We don't have any like menu system for that, but we're going to add in a quick save, quick load. However, the main menu doesn't have a working load button, and that's what I want to focus on first. So, what we want to do here is we want to open up our game instance, our header and our source file, and we're actually going to start in the header file here. So I'm just cleaning up some of the distractive content I have on my screen. So, Unreal save games are stored in a particular file location with a particular file type, and they're named whatever the save game name is. So there is a way to go about that. First thing we want to see, okay, save game names use a F string, sorry. So what we're going to want to do here is in our private section for our game instance, we want to add in a new code only functions. That means no U function declaration. It's going to be T array of F string get all save game names. And IntelliSense is being slow. There we go. Create this definition. So what are we doing here? Well, we're going to be parsing the. Actually, no, we do want. No, sorry, it's a different function we want to use. We're going to be parsing the file structure to find all the save games and pull at least the name from there. Now, you can expand that to include additional things like the last save, date, things like that. I don't plan on going that far because ultimately I want all my games to have a unique save name. So, anyways, to do this, obviously we're going to need a return variable. So T array F string ret, as I've done in all of my other examples like this, and return is going to be return ret. Okay, so I don't believe it's actually included in here because it's not. Yeah, it's not a requirement for your default save logic. Now I want to actually, preface this again because I'm working on what is intended to be a Windows only product. Might possibly at some point think Linux. I have zero interest in Mac. This will only work for Windows. So but anyways, include game framework and then I believe it's the save game header. Actually, that might be covered by. Do we have that in here? Maybe not. Anyways, so I'm going to, just for argument's sake, I'm going to leave this uncommented because I can't remember if this is pre-included code, and I don't like adding new things in there. So what we need is an I save game. Okay, we do need that. Save game system. Or is it a platform feature? No, it's platform feature. That's why. It's what's unique to Windows. Include platform features. Pretty sure it's in this one. Actually, well, here. UE5, C++. I save game. Oh, system. Hopefully you can't hear my dogs. Include. So this is one of the things that actually comes up a lot in programming. Save game system include. That's not there. Well, let's hope that's a platform feature. But anyways, as I was saying, that's a lot of the time you're going to find it comes up with programming is you're like, oh, what include file do I need? And I can say honestly, Google is your friend there. So I save game. No. Save game system. How did I do this before? Okay. I'm going to try this a different way actually. So f string save path equals f paths game save directory. I'm going to throw a breakpoint on that for the first time we try this. And then this is where it becomes Windows only. Win32. Find data. Oh, my fingers are working. Actually, I'm going to just do a quick ret.add save path. I'm just doing this as a very quick because I want to debug this and make sure that's giving us the right return path of file path. So get all save game instances. So the other thing we want to do, sorry, and I completely missed this, is you have two different ways of going about this. You can store this locally so you actually always have this information and update it as new save games are added during runtime, or you can just call this every time you need to. For performance, it would be better to store a local list, but unless you expect your players to have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of save games, its performance impact is going to be minimal. So what we can do here, though, is in our constructor, and that is called, there it is, right at the start of everything. I'm going to go tarray. Actually, no, I need to create a variable so it'll actually store it for view. Grab this. Tarray. And just for clarity, this particular bit right here is not needed. This is just me doing some debugging. If you want to follow along with that, great. What we're doing, we're just creating something we can see in the engine. Actually, we can't. It's a no. The game instance default. The blueprint should have that. So save names equals get all save game names. All right. So I'm just going to build this quick. This may take a minute to build because again we're dealing with making changes to the game instance, which sort of has a knock-on effect with a bunch of other classes because they're dependent on information from this. But anyways, I'm actually going to talk while this goes through this time because there's a few things I want to cover. So as I mentioned, next episode we're going to try and do our first, and I'll just say it in air quotes, release build. There's going to be a reason for that. As I say, I'll go into the details of why close, like in that episode, but some brief notes there is you want to build a release and test it. And by build, I mean like do what Epic call a shipping build. As often as, I don't want to say possible because you could do that every time you do a code change. That gets inefficient in your time management. Um, as often as is reasonable, just so you can do some testing on it. And that's something I want to cover. I haven't done that yet. Um, and that really needs to be something that gets done with most, well, as like I said, as often as reasonable. Now, after that, after I do this release build episode, which is probably going to be a short build, unless they've drastically changed that process in 5.4. But after that, I'm going to dive into what is going to be the next big system I want to add. It was actually brought up on the third person, first person toggle as a suggestion, which is actually what my plans were, anyways. But it was a suggestion, which means people are thinking around the right lines of my plans there. It's going to be a temperature system. That's been very complex, and it's going to span multiple episodes, much like the interaction system. And much like the interaction system, it's going to be started, and then I'm probably going to stop on it for a little bit because it's going to need to be built upon with other systems. And at this point, this build hasn't even kicked off its first particular one, which tells me Windows Defender is running. So I'm going to pause the recording here, and I will be back as soon as I'm in editor just to make sure this code change works. Actually, I threw a breakpoint on there, right? Because I'm expecting that to start as soon as the editor launches. Yes. So what I'll do actually is I'll wait for this build, because I called just a build. Wait for the build to finish, and then I'll be back before I launch the editor, because this is going to get hit pretty much as soon as the editor starts. So, all right, I will be back in a moment. All right, folks, so the editor compiled. So let's launch that and see if this gets hit. It should get hit pretty early on in the process. I'm actually going to try and catch it in the construction script as well. So the whole purpose of this, though, is I want to at least see what file path we're getting, and then from there, if we need to make changes, we can adjust that. So, because I'm not 100% sure that this is the right code by itself. There may be some more that needs to get added in there. Let's pull this over. I'm not sure at what percent it's going to hit, if it does. But it should, because we have that construction script call for this. So, and the whole reason, just to clarify why we added this in, it's so the variable is stored, and then that way it's not optimized out. So just looking at my notes here. And yeah, as I was saying, though, this only is going to work for Windows machines, just simply because we're using Windows-specific logic. And that's going to be, as I had started but got rid of, the Win32 find data. Why are you not... There we go. Okay, so I'm going to hit F10 to step over that. False source. Let me pull that up. No. So, I think... yeah, so there it is. So... it's one file path Yeah. So, okay, so we know that's not the right path. We are, oh, and Windows decided to get rid of a monitor again. So I'm going to go fix my monitor, and then we're going to use a slightly different approach to get this. All right, so this doesn't work as is, so we do need to use a different one. Now, let me pull that up. Oh, where did I put those notes? Oh, let's actually see. I'm going to try something else here quickly. Because I'm just trying to think how this is going to affect a release build as well. Do I have logger in here? Yes, I do. Okay. Where's the... Did I have trim? Returns a copy of this string with happy character. Find last care. Okay. Okay, so this is going to be a dirty one. This is something we're going to fix. -1. Save path. Not. Trim. No. Find. That was it. Last care. We want the /, and we want to pass in IDX so we can store it. If IDX does not equal -1, actually no, so if IDX is equal to -1, we want to return ret. We're just going to leave it empty. Save path, substring, split, shrink, move on the kind of, yeah, split. No, that was the one. Oh. Why do these not have to? Okay, let me pull this up. I hate how these don't follow the exact same. UE5, C++, not 55, UE5, C++, F string, substring. Mid. Dot mid. Returns substring from the start position to the end. 0 IDX. So we want save path equals save path. Save path plus equals, and then what was the actual path we had there? So that brings us back to here. Save games. So I'm going to grab that. And actually, we want this to be that to work with our find data. Okay, so let's build this. This should be really quick because we're not changing any external access code. It's just in here. Oh. Yeah, it's only 4, but this is probably going to take a little while. So anyways, what our goal is here is to, oh, it failed. Unrecognized on 316. Oh, yeah, I forgot to double up the control characters because I just copy and pasted. But yeah, so what the goal here is basically we're going to find the save folder, which is, well, at least for now, this. I'm pretty sure this is going to break on a release build. Actually, I'm going to do that right now. Logger, get instance, add message. Found the following save path. Actually, here's my standard logic here. EL debug. Save path. I'll deal with that later. Just because this is taking forever. Anyway, so I'm going to launch this time. It shouldn't take too long to build. F string to string. There we go. I'll have a look at that in a second here. But just pull that up. Oh, here we go. So we've gone through F10. So last index. Oh. Okay, so we need to do that twice. Get that, and I've got my characters wrong in there. Okay, so. And again, my monitor decides it wants to play up. 1 second. All right, that's fixed. So, let's try something here. I'm going to change that to the L for the fall. Now, again, I want to be clear. Again, this is dirty. This is not how you want to do it. This is how I'm debugging it to figure out, because as I said, I'm pretty sure this is going to fail when it comes to the release build, but I want to show the premise at least this time around. So I'm going to hit continue. So what did that give us as a, okay, so we need to do IDX +1. Okay, IDX +1, and then these need to be changed to /. And that's not a control character, so I can get rid of one of them. So anyways, what we're doing here is we're just trying to find that save game folder. There is going to be other options, like you could save them into specific folders if you want. I'm just letting it do its default, which saves to your installation path. Get current directory? No, because that might work for the release build, but... And I'm going to get rid of this logger instance for now. We don't need it until I can get that figured out. So we'll try this again. Because that game source dir. Actually, isn't it just game dir? I might be wasting my time here on this. Because, yeah. Yeah, okay. So that gives us the path we want. The fall saved save games. F paths. I just want to see if is there a game dir. Game dir. Engine saved dir. Oh. Actually. Maybe that's everything we need. Try that one quick. So yeah, this is why, as I mentioned in other episodes again, frequent and often debugging and stepping through your code is really helpful. I'm sitting here and I'm just like, actually, there might be a different way to go. Let's see, save path. No, let's see, does anything get saved in there quickly? Grab that. Open up a folder. I'll move this out of the way for now, just for safety's sake. Nope, there is nothing in there, so that doesn't work. F paths, capital P. Oh, audio, automation, developer, engine, game. Returns a save directory that is not game specific. This is usually the same as the engine saved dir. I'm going to do a couple of different things. Let's grab this. Path 1, path 2, path 3, and path 0. Actually, I'm going to leave that one because I don't have to change any of my other code. So this is the sort of thing you're going to find yourself doing. Engine saved dir, agnostic, project saved dir. But anyways, as I was saying, this is the sort of thing you're going to find yourself doing as you're doing all this development work. It's going to be finding the exact thing you want to use. And you can do it through code like this. You can use the Unreal documentation. Probably should have used that. Well, we know that doesn't give us the one we need, but let's try something else here. Printf. How does this work with Epic? Games. Yeah, you can't see me pointing at the screen. I think that's that one. I'm going to get rid of this one. I don't think that's going to work because that's just going to try and throw that on there, which we don't need. I think this is going to have to be... Okay, so let's just step through these quick. So a save path is, as we mentioned, it's pointing to a different place. Project saved dir. Is that the one we want? Move this out of the way quickly. Nope, wrong one. Move you. Where are you? The fall. What did that say it was? Save path 1. Saved. That's the one we want. Alright, so problem solved there. Okay, so I'm not even going to worry about the other ones. Plus equal that, and get rid of all of this. Again, this may not be the correct path for the release build. I'm 90% sure this isn't, but it gets things working for what we need here. Is what we're doing. We're getting a list of all the save games so we can actually present it on the UI. And I can't believe this is taking me, 30 minutes already? Yeah. Okay, so save path is the fall save to, I don't need that that one there. So stop. Okay, but that gives us the path we want, which is what we need. So get rid of you. Okay, so now we're going to go into what I tried doing before when I got ahead of myself. So Win32, find data. No, I'm going to call this properly just because I need to do handle h find data equals find first file pointer to save path and a reference to find data. And then if the handle isn't valid, yeah, h find invalid handle value. Yeah, handle value. It's been a while since I've worked with this. Return ret. So if we don't find any files in here, we're just going to say it's invalid. And this is where I'm pretty sure that is where we have an issue for Windows, for release build, sorry. And then it's while. What do we want to do? Or I'll do it while first. While find next file. Well, find next file, h handle to find data, and a pointer of reference to, is that not? Ah. Okay, so then what we're going to do here, just precautionary, find close h find data. So this is basically doing a directory search in that specific folder path that we're using here, and it's going to process every file that's in there. So if find data dot c file name 0. If the first character is a null terminator, it means it's not a valid file. Or if I'm trying to think, control characters are null period. Yeah, okay. So I'm trying to remember what all these. Yeah, I think that's the two. Continue. Else. Oh. So if the file name is invalid to start with, some control characters, and then Trying to think what else we need to check here. It's been a long time since I've done this, working with raw file directory. Then it's if find data dot file attributes, file name, yeah, it's file attributes. Attribute. If it's not a directory, what do you? It's hex. Yeah, 2. Doesn't equal 0. I'm missing a bracket in there. Okay, if it's actually no, if it is equal to a directory, continue. And I'm just going to put that up here. No, I need to keep that. Yep. Okay. F string file name. This is just for debugging. I'm gonna put this down. Equals fd.c file name. Find data.c file name. So you could refactor this to be a little cleaner, and you just use this to instantiate the file name on actually. Do this, and then you can just push that. Actually, no, I'm going to leave that in there for debugging purposes. But what you do is you just get rid of this file name variable name declaration and just put f string brackets find data.file name inside the add. Okay, so we should be hitting these breakpoints. There we go. 75%. First time I've actually noticed that. Okay, so save path plus we can save games. Where's file name in this list? File name. There you go. Oh, double period. Okay, need to account for that. So these file names are we're excluding here. They are like Windows specific. Like you'll see your hidden files. And that is 2. And there's a lot of hidden files in there, and they're or control files and things like that. So these are the ones we're wanting to exclude, because the last thing you want to do is try and load a game from a file that's not related to your game. Actually, we can probably check extensions. What are they? .sav. Okay, so file type. Okay, so find data, that is a double period with control character. That should be excluded there. Okay, default.sav. Okay. Why did that not, or did it? No, it didn't. Okay. So that doesn't work. Let's try with the file extensions. Find out.extension type. Oh, it's been so long since I've used this. File name, file attributes. Creation time, file size. File name dot. I got a pointer. Oh, find data. File. Used to retrieve the extension of a file. No, I'm not. If sorry, sitting here in silence. Wonder if that's going to work. That gets rid of files, control files, folders. We should get the file name, and then we should be saying default.sav gets passed in. Oh. Okay, so this, we know this part works. Okay, so I think, okay, there's something broken here. So I'm going to get rid of that and just see if it's just that that's causing a headache to start with. Or it might be I need to switch this for a do while. Oh, let's take a look here. Well, that's working. So that was, okay, so I'm going to go through here. Okay, so that works. I'm going to stop here, and I'm actually just going to bring this over so you can see new folder dev test. So let's try this one more time. And then hopefully after that initial 45 minutes of digging through all of this, we can get into the UI aspect of it. So save game, okay. Default.sav, okay. So this should be dev test. Okay, so that excludes it there. We don't need to worry about the folder. Yeah, I overcomplicated things. Probably don't even need this. But that's a good catch because we don't even need to waste. Yeah, that works. Okay, so we've got that part going through. It's going to get us all of that information. But we need a way to now pull this out as a constant to our UI. So what we're going to do here is tarray f string get save names, get save game. What did I call that up there actually? Get all save game names, get save game names, const. And this is a function we want to expose to blueprints. So u function blueprint callable. And in here, we're going to just return do I want to set that at startup? No, because I don't want to deal with the process. So I'm going to do this because we know that function is giving us what we want now. Oh, the extra type qualifier is not compatible with my function. You can also give names. Okay, maybe we do. Okay, I'm just going to leave that then. So I want it to be a const. Why are you being a pain in the ass? Unknown specifier. I can't spell. That would be my reason. Because I had an extra A in there. Okay, so now that that's done, do this, that. You're still going to throw... letting me call that. This object's type qualifier is not compatible with the member function. Why are you not compatible? Don't tell me you aren't. You should be. Am I having just a brain dead Tuesday morning moment? Okay, I'm not even going to fight with this because this episode's already 48 minutes long. So I'm going to return save names. Yeah. Okay. And now we've got that. I'm just going to do that right at the start. Now are you going to let me call that up there? Yes, okay. No, okay. So I'm going to do that actually. Load game, gather player data. We want it as part of our save. Get all save game names. That's what we just generated. Add actor, get actor data, dead save game. Okay, that's going to be in here. And save game object. Yeah, we'll throw that in there. So what that's doing is what I mentioned at the start is after every time you save a game, we regenerate that list. So now that we've done that, this should give us everything we need to do a bit of UI work. And now it's going to take forever to build because I went through and added that. And I probably have a mistake in here somewhere that it doesn't like. Nope, it worked. All right. So, still got a breakpoint in here, don't I? Yep. Make sure. Get rid of you. Get rid of you. Okay, pull that over. We're loading things up. So now that, fingers crossed, knock on wood, we've got all the code work done for this. We will be able to get at least the first portion of the UI done. Did I add a function for set save name? Add actor, get actor. No, I didn't. Well, we're going to make sure the UI works, and then I'll actually turn this into a 2-part episode. I was hoping I'd be able to get this done pretty quick and move straight into the dev build, or test release build, I should say. However, yeah, this turned out to be a little longer than expected. Come on, UI, you're ready. Oh, why do you have to be so slow? There we go. Wakey content browser. Oh. Okay, I'm going to pause quickly because it's taking forever. All right, I have no idea why that took so long, but it did. So, what we're going to be doing now is some UI work. So, I'm going to go into our content project UI folder main menu. And for the main menu widget, obviously. First thing we're going to do is go over to our graph. We're going to find our construct variable, event. Move these two out of the way. I don't think we're going to need them, but and we are going to get game instance cast to tf game instance. Because we're using the blueprint variation, we're actually going to do this. Compile that. Okay, cast failed. Print string. Unable to find tf game instance. Get save game names. And this is why I wanted a constant. I didn't want it to be an executable function. I just wanted it to return that. So promote this to a local variable. Promote to variable. And save game names. All right, so now we need to go back to our designer quickly. So you can see here we have just that basic stack panel we set up. What I'm going to do here is actually name this one main, primary menu. I make that a variable. And then hide that. Stack panel. Add that to our root canvas, and this is going to be load game menu. And I want to anchor this off to the right hand side. I want to set this as a width of, I'm going to say 300 for ease, and this 800 for that. So we want this to be minus 350 because you want it off a little edge away from the edge, and 400, so I want this to be minus 400 so it's in the middle. And then we want a scroll. The whole purpose of the scroll box is, as mentioned, if the player or user has more than a ridiculous number of save games. Save game scroll area. So we want load game, not save game. A load game scroll area. We want both of these to be variables as well. But what we also want, we want that to be fill. We want a load game visibility hidden. And there's a reason for this. So compile and save. We're going to go back to our primary menu. Make that visible. Our load game button, we're going to enable that. Then we can go over to our graph. Over here, on click, primary menu, get primary menu, and load game menu. Visibility, set visibility. I like to call the function instead of the direct parameter value just because it might execute any, well, it does execute any additional logic that's there. We want to set that to hidden, and we want to set visibility. We want this to be visible. And what this is doing, it's just going to hide the main menu, and it's going to present the load game menu. And from here, what we also want to do, actually, I'm going to create a function for this one. Update, save, load game buttons. So what we're going to do here in our event graph, we're going to do that before we actually render things. So in the update load game buttons, we're going to load game scroll area. Clear children on that. That's just going to make sure any buttons that are in there we're not worried about. We're going to get our save game names, and for each loop, we don't, and you can use a reverse if you want, but we don't need the for loop with a break. Button, I think it's create widget actually. Create widget. Button. No. Cast to button. Really? Button widget style, so create widget. Button. No. All right. Okay, so this is actually dragging out to be a pretty long episode. We've just hit the hour mark, so I'm actually going to stop things here. Just because, A, this is going to take a little while longer to execute and get this all done. Actually, no, quickly, I'm going to show you what I plan on doing. So in here, back in your content browser, project folder, UI, main menu, user interface, widget blueprint, widget, load game button. Because I wanted to do something different here. Oh no, user widget, name it, widget, load game button. And we're just going to execute this here. Bring this back over. Event graph, we are going to need one variable f save game name. That's going to be an f string. Instance editable, expose on spawn. Okay. Create widget. Oh, wow. Load game button. Get owner, get owning player, and then add a child. Okay, so this is the basic logic we're going to be setting up here. I do need to go through, as I mentioned when I was last compiling, I didn't add the function to set the save game name, so we're going to need to do that. But for now, as I mentioned, this is where we're going to end the episode. turned into an hour long when I figured this would actually be 45 minutes. That file structure took way longer than I expected. But anyways, folks, so minor amendment to what I said was going to happen. Next episode is going to be the continuation of getting our load game logic. Then the episode after that will be setting up a release build to make sure everything's working there. So, as always, thanks for watching. If there's any comments, questions, concerns, suggestions, please feel free to leave them in the comments below. I respond to everything I can. And with that, folks, I will catch you in the next episode.